Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm your host Sameer Haqqi from Parwaz TV show. Today it's a special program, and we're going to be doing this program for the international community to understand and see what has been going on that is not being said truthfully by PIA officials and other authorities to the media for the public to know exactly the things as they have been transpiring. First of all, I would like to express my condolences once again to all Lawaikin here, all the families of the victims who perished in PK-832 crash exactly a year ago from today.
Thank you. Jazakallah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes, we
Thank
can
you.
hear you, Samir. Thank you for your condolences.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how was this event, and what was the need for this event to do, and what kind of messages were you trying to give to the international community and the community, the people of Pakistan? I will start with Naeem Beg Saab here. Naeem Saab.
Sami, thank you very much for promoting our cause and making it known to people across the borders. Right now, I mean, everybody has seen, Alhamdulillah, mashallah, what happened on 22nd get together on the Remembrance Day. And we all said our things. But what is happening, what I'm very, very concerned about, and I want to convey to my friends, my dear friends, my family members, we've become a family here. What I want to convey is that there is a very organized campaign, I would call it campaign from PIA, that in every interview they are saying that we are waiting for them to put in the claims, and they are not doing it. So, if you go there, you go there for the claim, and they would put across the RDA to you. I don't want to repeat the details of RDA. I think by now everybody knows. Number two,
Uh, and can you briefly tell us about RDA? Because if the international community doesn't know, especially the governing bodies, they would know where this is coming from. If you can just brief it up on that.
Sameer, I would like to leave that to Zarka is sitting there. And what I'm trying to
Okay.
communicate here is that we need to make our own campaign. We have Omar sitting here where he got a call that, okay, submit the documents, we will pay. While they called his father and said that everything is ready, no documents required, just come and take your money. So we need to make a campaign to ensure that this campaign we have to kill. We have to share this through you. We have to share this through our social media and tell everybody that what they are saying, that we are ready. They are not coming over. I
Mhm.
have already talked to a media person and I've asked him that you come with us to the PIA office. We will go with our succession certificates. We just need 2 to 3 people going there. If this gentleman fulfills his promise and goes to the PIA office, we will need to submit our succession certificates and our claims, and then ask them, "Yeah, okay, so why are you saying that we are not submitting our claims?" That's when the RDA thingy will come up. That's where they will go. They'll be ashamed of themselves. That's all I have to say.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that, like, in the media, PIA is degrading the fact that they are asking Lavaikin, the Fakti's family, to sign a document called RDA, which is a release deed agreement, and they are not telling this to the in the media. To the public that this is what they want people to do, whereas they're telling people come and either take your money or come with the succession certificates and file a claim and take your money. So there is this
That's exactly my point.
there is this thing going on which is not being told to the public, and this is what we are trying to tell the public here, that the reality is different. What the reality is, it's being hidden from the public, but here we are trying to bring you all the revelations, what really is going on behind the scenes, which PIA is trying to hide. I'll go to Zarka ma'am now. Zarka, can
Yes,
you tell us about
yes.
the event and about this RDA? What really is happening?
Okay. Sameer, we were together to memorize all those things, to remember the incident, to pay a tribute to our loved ones. So, and we want to give a message to the world, to the aviation industry, that we are still we are still looking for the findings of the incident. Our questions are still unanswered. So that's why it's a peaceful ceremony. It's the first anniversary of our loved ones. So I want to add something which already Naeem Saab said. I saw yesterday there was a program in which Abdul Hafiz said that victims' families are not coming
Who
and
is
they are
this
not
Abdul
submitting
Hafiz?
their claims.
Zarka, who is this Abdul Hafiz?
He is one of the spokesperson from PIA.
Okay.
I think so. Public relation. He is taking care of public relation area. He is one of the
Mhm.
main persons we interacted in the last 1 year. So
Mhm.
he was saying that RDA is something you have to. It's the insurance company's demand, and but people can come and submit their claims. Then we will definitely entertain them. But
Mhm.
the lawyer from the PIA, they have a one extended lawyer firm over here in Pakistan. They hired and they called me and they asked me that my check was ready and I can go and collect my check. So I asked him that is there any documentation required? Though then he replied, he said that you have to sign a document called RDA. So I said, but RDA is usually signed after the final report. So
Mhm.
it's a first year liability. So there is no final report was published yet. So why should I come and I sign that particular document? So he said that there's a duration for 2 years in which you can get that compensation amount. And he said this is the first and final settlement. The word
Oh.
he used. So it's not a compensation. It's not a first year liability. So you have to take this amount within the span of 2 years. So for that amount, you have to sign this. So I said, if I don't want to, then he said, then you have to go to the court. And in Pakistan, it's very difficult that it's a lot of time required for your case. So if you really want to apply, want to go to the court, you have to wait, and maybe you will lose this amount. So I said it's
Mhm.
okay because this document is not a legal document as far as the Peshawar High Court decision is
Mhm.
implement.
So,
Yeah, it's already once
so
challenged in.
Zarka ma'am, what you're saying is that they are asking you to sign this document, which is an illegal document, and this document is only signed after the final report of the crash
Yeah,
comes, and if the families decide, affected families decide to go against the companies, and when the
yeah,
final decision is done from the court,
yeah,
and that's when the insurance will pay out you the last remaining portion of
yes.
the actual compensation, and you have to sign this document then, but not prior to that.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it's normally it's a regular procedure when you get the complete composition, then you have to sign this document that
Mhm.
you know that who is responsible and what kind of legal rights you have if you want to
Mhm.
pursue further. So I think so we should wait for the legal, of the final report to use our legal rights. And these are our basic rights. You know that there are list of companies. If I sign that document, that I can allow them whatever they want to do, or I can give them a clean trade, that they have no any kind of involvement in the plane crash.
So let me clear this once again to my viewers is that PIA is asking to sign this RDA document on the first year liability, which they are not supposed to. And according to the Air Act of 2012 and the Peshawar High Court, which has made this document illegal at this stage, but PIA is forcing people to sign this, and they are not telling this to the public through the media that this is what they are doing when the people go with their succession certificates to put their claims to get the first year liability. Now,
Yeah.
let me
Exactly,
rephrase.
Samir.
There's a difference between first year liability and final compensation.
Yes.
We are talking about the first year liability, which all airlines are supposed to give it to the affected families, and the compensation actually comes after the fact when the court cases are done, if the families decide to sue the companies, and when the decision is done by the judge, and that's when the insurance company would want to sign this document that we are giving you this final payment. This is it. After this, you cannot
Yes.
say or do anything against us. But
Samir,
PIS,
I would like to add something. Uh, the point to endorse whatever Zarka said so finely. Uh, you see, at the Governor House, the Ministry of Law was invited, Federal Ministry. Now,
Mhm.
they endorsed the fact that the first year liability of 5 million can be paid to the victims' families without RDA. I'm repeating, the Federal Ministry of Law has even issued a letter to that effect. And yet, PIA is quiet about it. They have not responded to it. So, are they overruling the law of Pakistan or what is going on? Thank you.
Mhm. Okay, now I will go to Umar. Umar, he's here on our program for the first time. He lost his mother in this crash, and I would like to go with him over the series of the events that has transpired from the day the crash happened until now. And then I'll go to the Azmat, and Arif can join us in between if he feels to do so. Uh, Assalamu alaikum, Umar. How are you?
Assalamualaikum. Very well, thank you. Thank you, Sameer, for giving us the opportunity to address the international media and bring out the points that we are trying to make in terms of betting the system and ensuring that the systems are in place for our future generations. So,
Mhm.
having said that, as your question, what transpired from the time of the accident till date? Well, firstly, I clearly remember when the crash happened, when it took place, I was there at the airport. And from that point in time till, you know, till the burial services and post crash events, there was no help from the PIA, there was no help from any agencies whatsoever. There was no emergency response team that was there to
Mhm.
help us because as soon as the air crash of that nature happened, the emergency response team is deployed. There was no emergency response team to help us. There were only
Mhm.
volunteers. There were no PIA representatives. Nobody
So
was
what
there.
you're saying that there was an absence of disaster management team who did not came to out to help you from PIA after
Oh,
right
absolutely
after the
not.
accident happened.
Absolutely not. PIA has a whole department by the name of Emergency Response Team. There are two
Hmm.
people who are heading that department. There is Inamullah Jamil and
Okay.
Khurshid. Mohammad Khurshid. Mohammad
Okay.
Khurshid and Inamullah Jamil are basically those two people who are responsible to coordinate and help the emergency protocols and the SOPs that were which should be in place, but they were not
Mm-hmm.
implemented and executed. Only
Mm-hmm.
two agencies that helped us were EDI and CHIPA. EDI and CHIPA were the
Okay.
only two NGOs that helped us through thick and thin throughout the ordeal. There was I mean, an accident of that nature happens, the air traffic controller, the Jinnah terminal deploys emergency teams, fire brigades, foams. All of those have to be deployed as an automatic response to to an
Mm-hmm.
accident. Nothing of that sort happened. I
So,
still remember I was at the airport and I was called
okay.
upstairs by the airport security guards to sort of
Okay.
help us inform us,
So,
and they informed us about the accident. They were
okay.
setting up help desks at that point in time, and then only volunteers helped us.
So, Ali, sorry, Umar, what did you do? Because from this, the list that I have is one of the things that how it all started. You appealed to the Prime Minister Imran Khan, and you made the appeal on 27th of May, then 28th of May 2020 last year, and then you also went. Your brother-in-law made a video with a news channel, Inside News Channel, on 29th of the May. So could you start from these series of events that happened, so people can know from the right after the accident up till now what has been done?
Well, if I understand you, from when the accident happened was May 22nd, and then from May 22nd till May 28th, I was looking around for my mother's body, but that's just one aspect of it.
Hmm.
If I chronologically take you through the chain of events, number
Yes,
one,
please.
when the air crash happened, there was no PIA representative to guide us, to facilitate us. There was no PIA management to help us or guide us at the same time. There were volunteers who were setting up the help desk. I told them that you are setting up a help desk for what reason? Please let people know what the help desk is
Hmm.
for. So
Okay.
after that, all all the volunteers who were there, they could only help us with taking our own personal information. We were trying to figure out what to do next, because obviously there was shock, there was emotions attached as well, but there was no systems in place, there was no guidance, there was no facilitation. I went to the airport hotel where the emergency center was set up, and over there the volunteers were the one who were helping us and were telling us that there was a small TV, and all the
Hmm.
news channel was giving us the information as to what was happening at the crash site, but nothing on the
Okay.
ground, nothing to help the affected families, no help.
Wow.
Then after that, all PIA could do was call and ask me questions as to what my mother was wearing. I mean, how am I supposed to know what my mother was wearing? And
Hmm.
how can they even answer that question?
Hmm.
So, what I'm trying to say is that in a crisis, the crisis management by the emergency response team, by these Namullah Jameel, by Khurshid, was nowhere to be found. They had no
Hmm.
idea how to manage, how to handle an accident of this nature. Number one. Number two, when we asked them to get us in touch with the senior management, that is Mohammed
Hmm.
Shoaib, the company secretary, that is Arshad Malik, the MD of PIA, they were nowhere to be found. In fact, they said, "Oh, the management and the MD is not available right now, so they will not be able to help you at this point in time." I was like,
Hmm.
to me, it was just amazing. I was appalled to even imagine that top management, Mohammed Shoaib, the company secretary, Arshad Malik, they were not there on the ground. Why were you not there on the ground with us? Why were we
Mhm.
not informed?
So basically, there was a complete failure of the emergency response team. There was nobody from PIA, and as far as I know, that when disasters like that happen, companies go out to the affected families. They have counseling there. They counsel them. They take them to a secure area, calm them down, try to ease their already sustained trauma and problems by easing the things for them. Please go do
Okay.
things themselves.
Yes,
Yet,
Samir, I would like to add to what Omar said. Mr. The so-called CEO and
Arshad Malik.
Raz Arshad Malik Saab, he had called me. He did call me. Come on, Omar. He did call me the third day, and he was putting in the formal things, statements, and I just said one thing, and I asked him to resign and move on. You can't
Mhm.
handle it. And then I had put the phone down. Baki, the rest is history is there. I
Mhm.
would request Azmat to please speak up now. Thank you.
Yes, I was just going to the Azmat myself because what's up, Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Move off to अजमत साहब मुझे सिर्फ 2 मिनट देते हैं मैं सिर्फ ऐड करना चाहता हूँ
प्लीज
उमर जो
प्लीज
बात कर रहे
प्लीज
थे
आप
के जो पीआईए की जो बात कर रहे हैं ना उमर वो बिल्कुल सही करेंगे देयर इज एन इमरजेंसी रिस्पांस यूनिट लेकिन दैट इमरजेंसी रिस्पांस यूनिट इज सपोज्ड टू बी वर्किंग इन टैंडम विद अनदर एजेंसी व्हिच इज कॉल्ड द एनडीएमए द एनडीएमए गॉट डैम woke up 2 days after the crash and they issued a circular and this is documented 2 days after the crash they issued a circular that was marked to all 7 principal leaders of all these different institutions including the PM house and it had the name of Dr. Humayun Taimur, the dental forensic person who came to identify bodies and he consistently gave away wrong bodies and he was asking us about our pictures of our loved ones so that they could see what their teeth looked like so that they could identify. Naeem Beg Saab is here as well. He got asked, his family got asked the same question: do you have Wahid's pictures? Because there are like some I don't know carnivorous teeth or like sub Hispanic teeth or I don't know. Now the point is, why was that DNA specialist doing over there when on the 23rd when I went to Karachi the at night I went gave my DNA test and most of these people over here did give their DNA test thinking that the DNA would be done. So what was that dental forensic person doing there in the first place? Number one, what took them 4 days to come on ground? And then has anybody asked why these wrong bodies were being given away? And then we come to the SFDL. They gave away wrong bodies, and we actually had press conferences on this. We had witnesses here, and one of the witnesses here is Naeem Beg. Ghazal Beg was there, and she categorically said that when she went to get her brother's body, which had been identified by the Punjab Forensic Science Agency, that same body was being given to somebody else as their daughter. The sex of the bodies was not even being checked. There's a lot that has gone behind this.
So this,
We have been like screaming for the past year, but not one person has actually stood up and actually said, "Yes, we'll try to find out what's going on." These are serious allegations, giving away wrong bodies, fake DNA results, PIA scam, $1 billion. Has anybody come from their quarters and told us that we're lying? Have any of these people ever said in the entire year that no, this is how we refute these claims? No. Everybody is quiet. The entire system is quiet. The entire opposition is quiet. The entire government is quiet. The PM is quiet. The president is quiet. The media is quiet. Who is this power who is behind them that can make all these people silent? Who cannot talk about when wrong bodies are being given away? And that too of Shaheeds. Shaheed has a particular meaning in our religion. People are really sensitive when it comes to that, but no religious party kind of stood up. How is that possible? Who are these people that we're dealing against? And it's been a year. Are we nuts?
Not
That's
only
all I have to
that,
Sameer,
say. And
not
everybody
only,
Sameer, I
not
continue.
want
only,
to add.
but
uh,
the medical,
Zerka, Umar, just give me a second. Let me take Azmat on because Azmat hasn't said anything yet. Go ahead, Azmat. I need your inputs.
Thank you, Sameer. First of all, you give me a chance to share my viewpoints, concerns, and issues. I have something else because most of the issues relate with the passengers, our deceased families, members, and so on, and the role of the PIA and the other authorities. But I have something else, and I have add something in this earlier comment, as Umar said that the rescue response system is not a failure. Actually, not only the response system is failure, there is the entire system of the city is failure, because there is a PIA actually responsible their airport areas especially, but where the accident take place, their responsibility, they facilitate their families and their the dead bodies and the surrounding of this incident area, but they totally failed. But I think they are deliberately do that kind of that kind of gesture they show, because they want to divert our attention with from the actual
Ground reality.
no real not ground reality, actual scam behind of this whole incident. As Arif
Okay.
pointed out several times earlier, that there is a huge scandal where lots of money involved. As you
Scandal?
know that we have, sorry,
Is it a scandal or a scam?
scandal. Sorry, I'm sorry, scandal. That Pakistan is the country where in last 10 years most uh, air accident take place, and no final report public, and there are no guilty person assigned, and no improvement take place, no upgradation in take place, and the incident repeatedly occur again and again. The first time, the families of 8303 stand up and bravely face this organization, a mafia. Actually, I said use word of mafia because not only one department, one organization. There are many, such as PIA, civil aviation, and insurance companies, and even then foreigner manufacturers and their leasing companies. They all part of this scandal. Our concern is that we are, yes, we want our rights, due rights, but more than that, we want to correct all these irregularities, punish those who are responsible, and take place a commission, impartial commission, where the family members also of the part of this commission.
So
Uh,
what you are saying right now is, from what I'm getting from you, is you want to fix the system. You want to hold the people who are responsible behind them accountable and have them punished by the law, because nobody's above the law, and it seems like these organizations are going above the law. Now I'm saying it seems like it. I don't know myself, but from the sounds what you are telling me, this is what's happening.
yeah, I'm further. I add something. Uh, when the accident take place, the aviation ministers and air chief itself admit that this is the mistake of our side, technical mistake. After that, nobody talk what kind of mistake take place, whether it is only pilot do this mistake, or control tower is responsible, or there is any technical element involved, such as the gear, why the gear is not open, or once it's open and then they go back, shut down. There is many things. I think that's why they want to sign RDA, that the family cannot go that area where many of the culprits can be exposed. They
So
avoiding us
basically,
and they involving us.
PIA is
They
trying to
involving
hide
us
their
in any issue.
fault. So PIA is trying to hide their guilt, and PIA is trying to hide their faults
Yes,
by
yes.
forcing families to sign this document called RDA before
Diverting
families
attention,
know anything about it.
diverting attention our. And
Uh,
after 1 year, after 1 year, we are
Mhm.
nowhere. We are just prove that this is our insurance claim. Kindly give us the right hearer, but they don't realize that and not convincing us. Now, recently they changed their strategy. They said, no, no,
Who
RDA
changed
is
their
the
strategy?
later issue. You just submit your claim
Oh, you're saying
and succession certificate.
PIA changed their strategy?
Yeah, PIA as a whole organization. I'm not blaming any one single person because the decision making is itself a separate and organizational procedure. I said that they change their stance, and now yes, he said that you just claim your claim, admit your claim, submit your claim, and your certificate. Then we decide whether you are signing RDA or not. But the
Yeah,
catch is in the
but the,
but the catch is in the form they give, the claim form, where they ask the individual detail of deceased, family member details, and the deceased earning capacity, and it's related all things. So, suppose somebody who was not the domestic, sorry, housewife or retired person who not submit their means or a bank account like this. In that case, PIA assess them their own calculation and negate their claim that you are not there, you are not
Asma,
not qualify for the additional
okay,
compensation. You just
Azmat,
have
I'm a bit confused here. I'm a bit confused here because right now we are only talking about the first year liability. We are not talking about the actual compensation because it's the court who decides all those things that you mentioned about person's life, about his work, and about his income and all that. Yeah, has not as an airline has nothing to do with that. Yet you're
yes,
saying
yes.
you're
This is the
doing
point.
it.
This is the point that I want to convey you. But they change this strategy, and the information that want at the time of RDA, they put in the claim form where they decide the person have earning capacity or what age. But we just talk about the insurance claim. We want just insurance claim. No, no
But Azmat,
information
Azmat,
relate with the yeah.
Azmat, here is the thing. When you're saying insurance claim, what are you referring to? Are you referring to the liability, which is 50 lakh, or you're talking about the whole
Whatever,
insurance claim, which is not even not even
whatever the law,
started as
whatever
yet?
the law defined. No, whatever the amount or law defined,
No,
because
you have
the
to be
because
precise.
the
I mean, after a whole year, you have to be precise that you're going after the first year liability or you're going for the whole compensation because whole compensation cannot be decided before the final report comes. And if you decide to go to the court, and after the court decides, court is the one who decides that.
actually there is their terminology. There is the terminology is the very key thing. There's two terms. It's the first year liability and the no fault liability. No fault and fault base. Actually, the term is fault base and non fault base.
Mhm.
Our concern is in our case, we think and we claim no fault claim is the first year. We suppose that when the final report come from the manufacturer or the international body who submit the report, then
Mhm.
we decide what is who is the responsible and how we claim them. maybe is the whole fault on the airplane manufacturer side. Then we
Uh,
go to the aircraft.
Asma, that's
I
called
want to add
investigation
something.
board. That's called the investigation board to decide once the
After that,
investigation
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
started. Because at
yeah,
this time,
yeah.
from what one of the aviation lawyers who came in my other program, he said that there is no investigation going on because the whole investigation team is illegally made, and he actually put a case against it, and he has stopped the investigation from happening. So what you're saying to me,
Uh,
what I see is you're talking about something that's going to happen. It hasn't even started yet. But right
Yeah,
now we are talking about
yeah,
the first
that
year
is
liability.
that is the
So
evidence. That
you're
is the indication that there's something wrong. That is the indication. That shows their intention. That shows their intention.
okay.
The all procedure is malified and not transparent. Their first aim to delay this case as much as possible. First, they try to 2 years limitation of the claim. They try to public the families not to submit their case in court before 2 years. That's why they gimmicks they use the tactics and the different
Mhm.
kind of you
Now,
said that
now,
objection.
now you do
Uh,
you know
Samir.
who?
Samir, I would
Samir,
like
I want.
to just add
Sure.
something. It's
I
very late for me. If you allow me,
name
Samir.
sir,
Uh,
let me have Zerka here. Zerka ma'am, you go
yeah,
ahead, and
Uh,
then name sir, you can come in.
Sameer, I want to confirm that the term which you they use is the first and final settlement. So how can first and final settlement before the report issued?
Yeah,
So they
yeah,
should look into this, and this is the first year liability which they have to give as a insured money. Which we when we buy a ticket, it was
Yes.
insured. So this is the 50 lakh was the initial amount, which was after Air Act 12. It's supposed to be reviewed after every 3 years. So it was totally ignored in the last 8 years. This thing happened. This incident happened. Suddenly, they realized that this was the mistake which was done. That they didn't review the Air Act amount as per the first insurance or first year liability. So they make it
Mhm.
1 crore. So this is the amount which they have to give
Who
it
made
to
this?
the victim families immediately. The
Zerka,
the
who made this
compensation
claim?
amount the compensation amount will become later when we receive the final report, and then we'll go to the court, and the court will decide what the age of the victim or shohada
Mhm.
and what's their earning capacity and how many members and how much life he had. All these things will be included for the calculation for that compensation amount. Here they are saying this is the first and final compensation amount which you have to take, and you have to sign that document. By signing that document, we have to forego our right to go to court and ask anybody who is later on guilty for that incident. So
Okay.
this is something, and we are trying to tell them, we are trying to convey them since the first day that we are talking about the basic things of a common person. We don't want that this kind of incident happened again. We are trying to work on the emergency response center. We ask them that please make a committee and ask 1 or 2% from the victim families to join, to give them their feedbacks to improve their circumstances for any other incident. Then we
Mhm.
ask them to please look into the NDMA role, because how the bodies was delivered or hand over to the families, and how they
Wrong
manage
bodies.
how they manage. There was no outline draft by the national disaster management. There was no protocol, there was no guidelines available for anyone. So we don't want this happen again. So we were ask Mr. Arshad Malik, please make a committee. Let us know what's happening. What was the reason? What happened at the tower? So please give us your those feedbacks to improve the system. The insurance amount is something different, which is our right, which every family
Zerka,
should have it.
Zerka, I
Then,
think we got your point, what you're trying to say here. Let me go to Naeem Sab. Naeem Sab, you wanted to make a point?
Uh, Gee, thank you very much, Sameer, for coming back to me. Uh, I have just 2 points. A, that in the countries I had, you know, so-called advanced countries, we've been told that we are a third world country. But normally, when an accident takes place, such an accident, the victim families are made to sit at home. The services, the organizations, the government runs around looking for the bodies, DNAs, etc. They don't bother you. They say just
exactly.
sit at home. Now, I think in this sense, we should go there. We should be at that moment. What Zarka was saying is what I'm saying. That
Mhm.
it's about time that the victims' families should not be disturbed like this. The way we've been tortured. Number one. Number two.
No, it's horrible the way they have treated you. Like they should not have treated you or any of the families like this. Like PIA should have been very
Number
humble
two,
and very supportive.
Samir.
Yet they
Samir,
actually
number two. I'm going
horrendously
to
treated you or the families, and they are still doing that.
allow me to make the next point, and that is that the president of the country, Mr. Alvi, called me a week later. There were many calls. The president wants to talk to you, and I talked to him, and the formal condolences were conveyed to me by him. And then I said that you are the beacon of the country, so kindly make a very detailed investigation, something that's very clear. And I was shocked when he said that I didn't know the last 5 crash investigations have not come through.
Yes.
And that is when, please understand, all of you, that is
Mhm.
when Junaid Jamshed, the plane
The
that flew
PK
from
661.
Kiftal and was destroyed because of bad maintenance and
Mhm.
wrong, uh,
That aircraft was unwieldy. The propellers
right?
were
It went to
unwieldy.
the courts. So they want PIA to go us to the for us to go to the courts and ask for that investigation, because 2 years will not happen. Inshallah, they will not happen. We are here, we are fighting. We are fighting not only for our shaheeds, we are fighting for the future of this country
Mhm.
to make
Yes.
the skies safer. We
Sameer, I
will
want to.
ask the court, we will ask the courts
I
to
will come to
ask
you,
them
Asmat.
for the investigation report
Yes.
before 2 years, because they're going to try their best to delay it for more than 2 years, where compensation, uh, the first year liability, nothing can be paid. We will not let that happen. And that's my last statement. Thank you, my friends. I have to go. I'm actually an old man. I have to sleep.
All right, names up. Thank you for once again coming on our show and raising your points. Your points are very valid. And just before you go, I just want to say that this message is for the governing bodies like ICAO and ESA to realize, to hear this out and realize what is actually happening behind the scenes, what PIA is literally doing with these family members who have lost their loved ones. These are the things that these people are facing, which nobody does that. And uh, since PIA has been banned from Europe, maybe this program will give you a good picture what happens behind the doors and behind the screens, that PIA does not want public to know how they're dealing with their own and how they're dealing with these innocent people who have lost their loved ones. Okay, Azmat, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. Thank you, Sameer. Thank you, Sameer. First of all, I correct, not correct, but add Ms. Zarka statement that the PIA chief can do something for this kind of incident. Actually, when the any national disasters take place, it is the responsibility of the federal government with the coordination of the provincial governments, which they both are failed. They are both are failed, and
Isn't that
unfortunately, our
organization called NDMA?
sorry.
Isn't that organization called NDMA in Pakistan?
Yeah.
Because
NDMA, National Disaster
they-
Management Authority. National Disaster Management
that's-
Authority.
mhm,
That is the one organization, but all these organizations work under federal government, and
mhm,
and some organizations like rescue organizations work under provincial governments.
mhm.
So actually, the policy need to change at the
Arif, can you
federal
turn
level.
your camera on, please? Go ahead, Asma.
Sorry,
No, I was just
sorry.
asking Arif to turn his camera on, please.
Uh, my camera is on. My camera is
Yours
on.
on, Arif. Go ahead, continue.
Okay. So, I request to federal government they do their job accordingly and improve their organization. First thing, yes, every organization at their own they must correct their structure, their facilities, their other things which necessary, and improve their SOPs such as the main cheese which I like to ask you, because you are also a professional pilot and your knowledge is more than mine, that
Mhm.
in Pakistan most of the aircraft are not according to the international standard. You know that the modern age, most of the European countries and many countries, Scandinavian countries, where the fog all around the year exists, but the plane have the capability to take off
ILS.
and land with the help of instruments. Whether
Yes, it's called Cat 3. It's called ILS
yeah,
Cat 3 system.
and there is many other gadgets and devices invent since long,
Mhm.
but we have whether my question is Pakistani planes have this kind of capability, or
Yes.
we need to improve our system or our even then our control tower facilities need to
Okay.
improve. Our
Okay.
our individual training needs just training staff is required to need. Our rescue teams need to improvement and trainings. So that's I want to
Okay.
say, and I hope
Okay.
you understand my point. You got my point.
Okay, I'll answer your questions. All the aircrafts that PIA has and other airlines have are state-of-the-art aircraft. They are all equipped with ILS landing systems. Unfortunately, the system itself is very good system, but in Pakistan, there are airports which are lacking this system. Like either they are Cat 2, they are not Cat 3. They should be all Cat 3 by now, so aircrafts can land in fog also. When the fog happens around the world, aircraft still come in and land unless there's a storm or there's a issue of the high winds. Fog is not one of them. And in
Sir,
here
sir,
in Canada, like doesn't matter
Samir,
if there's a fog, airplanes come in
Samir,
and land.
Samir, what about the last incident? Junaid Jamshid plane was
That was
explode at the hill. What about
actually.
why this accident happened?
Well, that's a separate issue altogether, and it has to do with the lack of maintenance. And that aircraft was unairworthy. The engines had the problem in it, and the propellers were unairworthy. And they knew that the problem was there for the last 4 years. Even manufacturer contacted PIA maintenance and asked them to send them the propellers, but PIA never did that. So yes, there are
Okay,
lapses in PIA, and this
yeah,
starts from the
first,
top government, top management, and it
okay.
trickles down to the lower management.
Yeah. But last
Even
thing, I must say a last thing. I through you, I want to convey my message. Please, 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 before any local and international plane take place, every plane should public their last maintenance report with date, whether they have a proper maintenance and checklist. They never disclose that kind of information. These that is the
Actually, Asmat, hold on a second here. That is my information is not for the public. It's done to the pilots, to the maintenance, and the management has to look at it. To make it public, it just doesn't happen that way. So I
no,
know where you're coming from,
but when the
here's the thing,
but
public doesn't
when
even
the
know. Public
see
doesn't
what
even know how to maintain and the technical terminology and how the aircraft are
sir,
maintained.
see, we have lots of engineers and technical expert like you. We have lots of people. Pakistan not is a backward country. Okay,
Yes,
but
but I
I
hear what
said
you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
when any accident take place, in that case, the last maintenance report must be disclosed.
So that's called investigation, and the investigation board
yeah,
does the investigation. They go to the maintenance, they go to the lives of the pilots. They do a very concise
That
investigation
is the
around the
problem.
world. Or the
The
maintenance.
board itself is
Let me
not
speak.
the impartial. That is the problem
Asmat,
because the board is not
let me
impartial.
speak, please. Let me speak, please. I'm just trying to explain it to you how this happens, so you would understand as a layman. I'm just trying to
Or,
give you a very
or
simple
professional.
answer.
Okay, thank you.
You
Okay,
asked me about the ATR crash. I explained you what was the causes of it. Investigation board determined there was a maintenance issue, and maintenance issue occurred because of the human errors, and it starts
okay,
from the management and trickles
yeah,
down to the higher management, from the higher to middle to the lower management. So this, the problem is the maintenance department and the management of that town. They are the one at fault for this. So
okay,
investigation report has already said that the issue was regarding the maintenance. Now when you ask me the first question about making these things public, it should not be made public. It's supposed to stay within the company because maintenance done by the company. When an accident happens, that's a different story. No
yeah.
company does open it up or does anything to tell how they're maintaining or from one flight to the other flight. It doesn't happen. Arif, where
okay.
are you? Zerka, just give me a second. Arif, can you come on? I don't see you on.
Hello. Acha, guys, I think
Yes.
we've digressed from the issue. Abhi, before I take the
Yeah.
stage, Abhi, right now I want Umar to say something because he's been like raising his
Yes.
hand consistently. आप लोग देख नहीं है शायद. Umar, please continue. Then I'll like फिर मैं आता हूँ.
Yeah, I just want to just let the public know that whatever we have said, it boils down to accountability, responsibility, and ownership. Somebody has to take accountability and ownership of this accident. Until and unless someone does not stand up and give us a public apology, which means Arshad Malik should give us a public apology or he should resign. His cronies, his posse group should resign, and they should morally and ethically give us a public apology. Whether it is
Oh, yeah.
your
Thank you.
body identification, the emergency response, the NDMA, the insurance amount, compensation, all of that. For us as public at large, we don't know anything as far as we're concerned. Our passengers, our loved ones were traveling by PIA. PIA, PIA's management, top management is responsible. They have to take accountability of this. And within within Pakistan, because there are certain agencies, there are certain groups that work behind the curtains. Hence, the
Exactly.
accountability and ownership does not come forth, whether it is due
Yeah.
to personal safety reasons or it is for benefit and financial gains. So, until unless he does not stand up and give us a public apology, accountability and ownership nothing of this sort is going to help. That's all I
Sameer,
would say.
before Arif, I
Yes,
just
go ahead,
want to add
Zarka. I
one
was
thing.
referring to you.
I just want to add one thing, that it's a overall impression that we are here for the money, and we are for the insurance money. But the day when we buried our loved ones, the next day we will start talking about to the betterment of the system. We don't want that the worst circumstances we had gone through, it won't happen again. So our intentions are very clear. We need accountability, we need justice, we need that all the structure should be revamped. They have to follow all the SOPs, and they have all the guidelines and things, and their rules and regulations, and their documentation. Everything should be on place. Thank you.
Welcome. Yes, Arif.
Hello, Sameer. Acha, Sameer, the thing is that right now the people have to understand that what we are facing right now is the mother of mafias. There are like two cells that we've been going up against consistently. The first one is connected entirely to DNA, to the Karachi University, and to a private citizen who's been given like unlimited powers in the realms of HEJ to spend as he wishes with no accountability required. Again, I'm repeating that. It's a private citizen who is very close to Imran Khan. He is the patron in chief of the Karachi University, and he is the person who protects Iqbal Chaudhry. And SFDL is the place where this DNA scam was happening. I'm saying it again on international TV. That is one strong mafia that was in play. I got death threats. I got followed. There was a lot of stuff happening. I was living in Malir Cant. The people over there were informed that I am persona non grata. Make sure that you do not give him like more than a day's pass. All this stuff transpired. What was I? Was I a public enemy? Was I lying? Was I like fighting for these people, and these people are coming and standing by my side and lying that wrong bodies are being given away? We did press conferences. Did anybody come forward? Did Imran Khan come forward? Did the president come forward? Did anybody from the opposition come forward? Did anybody from the media anchors come forward? Shahid Masood came onto TV and he said, I want to say something about 8303, but I cannot because they're going to open up the old PTV case and they're going to throw me in jail. Who are these people that we were dealing against that even the PM cannot talk against? These are like serious allegations, giving away wrong bodies. Even Miss Zarka is sitting here and she herself is not sure. She did that because of her mother. She accepted that body, but right now I know what is going on inside of her. Every time she goes down to the grave, she wishes that she did not do that. But we cannot go back, but we can change the system. That was cell number one. Now are you understanding? That is why the PM or anybody else from any other government quarters, whether it's like opposition or anybody or any social activist, nobody like stood up for us. Now coming down to PIA, in that meeting, in the governor house meeting, we told them we don't want your 10 million. God damn it, keep it. Give us our 5 million as is dictated by law. And the law minister said they are right. So the governors told Arshad Malik, why are you not giving them 50 lakh rupees? Arshad Malik then, his like color just faded from his face, and then he was talking into the ear of the governor. Now it's been like more than a month and a half. When we are saying we don't want crore, give us 50 lakhs, what stops them? It seems like this RDA is one of the most important pieces in the puzzle. That is one thing that these guys have been consistently doing over the past years with people who do not know their rights. The plane crashes, they get the insurance amounts from the back end, they give like money which is as per their own liking, because even in this case, the survivor and the people who died have been given the same amount. How can that be? What insurance policy in the world equates the same amount to a death and to someone who has survived? There is a lot of discrepancies here, but nobody is willing to come out and actually talk about it. The media over here is not even covering the insurance document. PIA is not coming to the forefront and telling us, no, hey, you got it wrong. It's this way. Nobody's come forward. It's been like, what, a year now? Where is the prime minister? Where is the president? Where are all these people? I mean, can't they
I
see?
was just going to ask you, did Prime Minister of Pakistan Imran Khan called you, or did he came within a year to you or the families, because he should have done that. That was his ethical and moral
He has
responsibility to do.
he has done nothing. I uploaded a video on Facebook as well. We
Mhm.
gave a application to the governor Sindh 2 or 3 weeks before this event was supposed to happen. On the
Mhm.
day, a day before the event, we called them up and they told us that he has gone to Islamabad. He cannot be here. I mean, is he serious? This is a province in which the plane went down. This is a province in which he's the captain of. Is he
Mhm.
powerless against like Arshad Malik? Is he like so totally like subversive to the system which actually controls this whole thing that he cannot say anything?
Mhm.
Nobody's come forward. Doesn't that seem strange to the whole of Pakistan? As I said, this is the
No,
mother
that's
of all mafias. Forget the small
that
mafias.
seems very strange to the world, not just Pakistan, because whenever a major crash like this happens, the government, the prime minister or the president, they either give a formal, what do you call, a letter
At
of
least
condolences,
somebody
or
helps.
they come out and
I will
greet
give
the
names right now. Ikrarul Hassan ran. Ikrarul Hassan ran. Every other anchor man ran when it was the when I was talking about the DNA thing. Now somebody come up from like the government quarters and tell us we were lying. Go ahead, we dare them. Tell us we were lying.
All right, Arif, our show's time has ended, and thank you very much for everybody to be on the show and explaining to us, the outsiders, the international media, and the international bodies, what has been going on. And we have talked about series of events that has happened since after the crash until now. So I hope international bodies and governing bodies will hear this out, and they will do
Oh,
something to
Samir,
make sure
just
that
one second.
Pakistani
Love you,
skies
man.
become safe again.
Samir, that is perfect. I want to use your platform of Parwaz, and I would like to make a call to the international community, to all these human rights and people and human rights watch people, because this DNA thing is just this is unthinkable. What the we have been through is unthinkable. Somebody can't even
Yes,
think about
yes,
writing a book on this. It would seem
yes.
unbelievable, but we've been through that. We want the Human Rights Watch to actually, contact us, find out what's wrong. This cannot go on like this in Pakistan. Where are all these
Yes,
people?
with this program, we will share it on YouTube. We will share it everywhere, so these organizations can hear you out as to what has transpired and what is happening. So this will not happen the next time, because
Yes,
Yeah.
all you
yes,
guys want is to make the skies safer, the airlines safer, by implementing the safety aspect of it. And what I'm seeing right now, there is no safety aspect. There's no respect of the humans. There is no empathy. There is no sympathy in PIA and all these governing bodies, who are all they are trying to do, from what I gather from you, is that they're trying to cover everything up and shove it under the rug like it never happened.
Oh,
Yeah.
forget us. Forget us. They actually suspended the air traffic controllers who were on duty a year back during that incident. They just suspended them a year after. A year, can you
Wow,
imagine that? If you
wow.
say that to
They
like
should
the
have been
aviation
suspended
experts
right there and then.
internationally, what are they gonna say? A year afterwards, international protocol dictates that they are removed that very second and sequestered till that
Mhm,
investigation is completed.
mhm.
They
Yes,
were
that's the way it
continuing
should have
to
been
take
happening.
off and
But
land planes for over a year. Is that believable?
no, that's unbelievable. Like, for public needs to hear this out, people need to hear these things out, and what they did with you is horrendous. I mean, the way they
With
treated
Pakistan,
you
not just
and
us,
the other
they've
family
been
is
doing this
horrendous.
consistently for over the years.
Yes. And until the system changes, until the safety is brought into the system, and nothing will change, the same thing will keep on happening again and again.
Keep happening. Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you very much, and I have to wrap this up now. So thanks for being
Thank
with
you,
us,
Samir.
with me once again, and hopefully your message. We'll try our best to convey your message, and it will get to the right authorities and the right governing bodies, and hopefully the things will change from now onwards. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
thank
Pakistan
you.
Zindabad. Allah Hafiz.
जा रही है, जिसके नतीजे में ये लोग अपने जो कानूनी इनके हक है मज़ीद किसी चीज़ के बारे में जो है वो अपने लिए क्लेम करने का, वो ख़त्म हो जाएगा और उसके बगैर इनकी कंपटीशन रुका हुआ है।
देखिए, बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, होना तो ये चाहिए था कि ज़मीन के ऊपर कदम रखा जाता, उनको शेयर किया जाता और बिना किसी सुर्ख फीते के मसलों को जल्द अज जल्द जो है वो इसको हल किया जाता है। लेकिन अफसोसनाक, हद दर्जे अफसोसनाक बात है कि 1 साल गुजर गया, कोई पुरसाने हाल नहीं और अभी डॉक्यूमेंटेशन इस तरह की हो रही है कि जो और उनको मुश्किल में मुब्तला कर दे। तो मैं इसकी मोहब्बत करता हूँ शदीद तौर पर और इसके लिए मैं दरख्वास्त करता हूँ हुकूमत से, सूबाई हुकूमत से भी, वफाकी हुकूमत से भी, कि अगर उनके इल्म में कह देंगे कि जी हाँ ये हुआ था वो हुआ था और हमारे इल्म में नहीं था, यहाँ भी उनके MNA मौजूद हैं, यहाँ पे MPA मौजूद हैं, सब लोग मौजूद हैं, कैसे कह देते हैं कि हमारे इल्म में नहीं था। फौरी तौर पे अर्जेंट बेसिस के ऊपर मैं समझता हूँ इस मसले को गवर्नमेंट को रिजॉल्व करना चाहिए। ये आग थी कि जो इंसानों को खत्म कर गई है और उनके लवायतीन अब तक उस कर्ज से बाहर नहीं आ सके, पूरा शहर बाहर नहीं आ सका है, पूरा शहर इस दुख को इस वक्त भी महसूस कर रहा है, लेकिन नहीं महसूस कर रहा तो वो चीज़ को महसूस करना चाहिए।
क्या कहते हैं कि ना यहाँ पे कोई PIA का नुमाइंदा मौजूद है, ना सिविल का होता है, ना हुकूमत का कोई नुमाइंदा है। तो इस मौके के ऊपर यहाँ पे वो इजाज़ती के लिए वो मौजूद होना चाहिए था।
मेरे ख्याल में आपके सवाल में ही जवाब है। गवर्नर साहब को हमने गाइड किया था 2 हफ्ते पहले जाने किया था, परसों से हमने सेक्रेटरी साहब फरमा रहे हैं कि आप बहुत लेट हमें बताया, गवर्नर साहब इस्लामाबाद। जहाँ तक PIA का ताल्लुक है उनसे तो हमको एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर रहे, हाँ एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं तो वो अपनी रिफॉर्म्स कर रहे हैं, ये एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं, चेंजेस कर रहे हैं। इन्होंने एक चेंज की थी, रोज़े के साथ आप फ्लाई नहीं कर सकते। ये बाय द वे इंटरनेशनल रूल है, सारे मुसलमान पायलट्स को इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट्स पे एक खजूर खिलाया जाता है फ्लाइट से पहले। हमें जो सुना है ये दोनों पायलट्स बर्बाद हो, अब से 2 हफ्ते पहले पहली चेंज आई है। तो अगर आप हमसे पूछें हमारी अचीवमेंट्स में क्या है, तो ये छोटी छोटी चीज़ें भी अगर ये चेंजेस आनी शुरू होती हैं, कल को आपके बच्चे आपकी फैमिली ट्रैवल करती है तो वो ना हो जो उन पर गुजर गई।
क्या ऐसा कहा कि आज के दिन के हवाले से और आपने ये कंपेन लेके चल रहे हैं?
मकसद यही है, जैसे मैंने आपसे अर्ज़ किया, कि आने वाले दिनों में हमारे स्काई स्टेशन ADC PIA इन सबको गलतियाँ देखनी चाहिए, एक्सेप्ट करनी चाहिए, ना ये कि बेवकूफ़ी की चीज़ों के ऊपर, अपने पैसों के ऊपर, या मेरे 10 करोड़ दे दोगे उसमें तो मेरे बेटे की एक स्माइल भी नहीं है। तो हमारी स्ट्रगल यही है कि कल को आने वाले हालात में किसी और के साथ होना हो। DNA के सिनेरियो से लेके आज तक कि अब हमें कोर्ट्स में जाना पड़ा इस कोविड के दौरान।
اعظم غادي يلا
You are watching Capital TV Washington, the best South Asian TV channel in North America.